Welcome to Dork Cast. I'm Red.
I'm Ari.
And we're the crew for Dork Cast. This is going to be about 25 minutes long, weekly thing. We'll do it hopefully every week on the week. Just something we want to do, have fun, talk about everything under the sun. We're family, actually. I'm her nephew. She's my aunt. I'm 15. She's a little bit older than me, but we get along pretty well. She could tell you a little bit about herself here. She is.
Yeah, I'm Ariadne. I sing, I paint, I draw, I dance. I'm into anything artistic. And we got bored one day and got to thinking we should really do something online. And we decided to make a podcast for no good reason other than just sit here and banter about everything and nothing and make no sense at all. Because we're a couple of dorks. And that's how I got the name Dork Cast. It's very fitting for the both of us.
I'm Red, like I've said before. I'm into a lot of like comic books. I like to stay in shape. I nerd out a lot on people over wrong stuff. We're probably going to go over that later on in the episode. Right now, we're just letting you know who we are. Well, yesterday, we had a pretty interesting thing. Ari's family had came down, and they stay right down from her house, and we're walking up because it's getting kind of dark outside, and all of a sudden, you just hear, and it hits a limb, and I duck down, and that walnut was as straight past my ear. I swear, I have a problem with mad squirrels at me all the time. Acorns. I've got hit in the head with multiple acorns outside of our house, and then hear a squirrel. Yeah, and yesterday I feel like maybe it was a angrier squirrel, maybe a little bigger. Maybe he did some bench pressing or something. I don't know, but he threw that walnut or something at me. Just them squirrels, man.
I think what it is, they're jealous because you act squirrelier than they do. So they're trying to run you off.
Maybe they're just wanting to knock me out and drag me and hide me for the winter because I'm quite the nut.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. The squirrels are gathering nuts, so I am trying to keep an eye out and make sure I don't lose any friends to squirrel nests, mistake them for a nut.
Well, we don't have a lot of money, so we're just using a mic and no camera, but I was talking to Ari, and I pointed out a good thing about this, though. We don't have to worry about what we look like. Like, right now, she's just in a gown and messy hair, and I'm shirtless, and I'm white as can be, and nobody wants to see that pasty body.
Yeah, I'm not sure we needed to go into quite that much detail. Yeah, I'm sitting here in not really a gown, it's a long t-shirt and a pair of slightly raggedy shorts. I have not brushed my hair yet. And he actually used his shirt to wipe up a spill of water. My daughter, I guess, knocked some water over beside my husband's laptop. And we saw it, and Red was like, I'll get it up, hang on. He just uses his shirt for a mop. So, yeah, right now, be glad we don't have video. Be glad it's only audio and goofy, stupid pictures. And that's another thing. Until we get video, Lord help us. Until we get video, I'll be scouring Google and everything else for just screwball pictures to put to the audio here. It's gonna make no sense at all. There's gonna be no relation between some of the conversations, some of the pictures. Like I've got this picture on my computer that has a chicken, a rotisserie chicken, with a fish's head sticking out of it, smoking a cigarette, and it says, "Frankly, sir, I don't care." That's the caption. But just mess like that. Until we get a camera, I'm going to be doing ridiculous stuff. And we have one crappy mic between us, so if the sound gets weird, just overlook it. This is episode 1 of the Dork Cast, and this will be the one that we use to work all the bugs out. Anyway, you were saying that you were into comic books and stuff like that?
Yeah, like, a lot now you hear the controversy of Superman versus Batman, which, when you look at it, if you go kind of deep, it makes you...
That's a controversy?
Yes, in my world, that's a controversy.
Wow.
But, if you look at it, those seem to be the two most favored in DC Comics, and it says a lot about the culture right now. Like, you got Batman over here, who's actually human, and he's got a lot of money, and I mean, people relate to that, and he's this mysterious guy who's just done all this training. And then you have, on the other hand, the gentleman-like Superman, who is Clark Kent by day and Superman by night, and he's just, I think why most people look up to Batman more is just Superman isn't human, and he just doesn't face his fears and push himself like Batman does. I, myself, am a bigger Batman fan, but when it comes down to a fight, Superman would win, just for the fact that he has so many different ways he could do it. You hear the controversy all the time about if you take away the sun, then what's Superman, and then if you take away Batman's suit, that he's still got all these skills and stuff. Well, first off, you take away the sun, you gotta look at what it's gonna do to Batman too. Within days, the Earth is gonna be destroyed and chaosed. But Superman could actually fly to another sun. If you read the actual comics, you'll see that he can go 3 days without it without fighting someone. He doesn't have to necessarily have the sun all the time.
I didn't know that he was Superman by night. I thought he was Superman whenever somebody hollered, "Help! I need some help! Superman!" And then he goes and jumps into the nearest phone booth and changes clothes and comes out and saves the day. And I don't know. Batman is really cool and funny and dramatic and really over dramatic sometimes. But yeah, it's like, it's the suit. It's the gadgets. Superman was actually born on another planet and had superpowers from that. Batman has a utility belt and a car, and that's like all of his...
Take away his money, take away all the stuff, he's nothing but a small man.
Yeah, there you go. My husband just injected a comment right there. If you take away his suit and his money, basically you have Bruce Wayne, who is Bruce Wayne.
Do the Batman song.
And, but speaking of superpowers, it takes have you ever noticed it takes superpowers to get into some of the food packaging? That when you get like toaster pastries and stuff, it takes mad skill to get into the icing packs. You got those perforated little lines that you're supposed to tear these things apart from each other and then tear them open. And you try to tear them, it just rips off to the side. And then you got so now you have icing everywhere, including all over your hands. So, you know, that kind of sucks first thing in the morning. You're not even awake yet. You try to open a toaster pastry and the icing packet pees on you. What?
And talking about the icing for those things, I mean, am I the only one, or do you guys do this too? Like when you try to get just the last little bit and you're not going to put it on there, so you just like put the package in your mouth and then put your teeth to it and try to get it out, and then it cuts the side of your mouth? Like, lies. The government lies.
I don't think that's a government lie. I think that's just like not exactly truth in advertising, because they show somebody just so easily squirting the icing onto the toaster pastry, and then, you know, Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. You're standing there like, and you open up the toaster pastry packet and the icing, and then it goes everywhere. I think it's false advertising. It should show somebody that hasn't done their hair yet, standing there in a nightshirt, trying to fix the kids' breakfast for school, and the toaster pastry packet just kind of goes all over the counter. Great start to the week. And then you got the boxes of like the grits and stuff, or cake mix, whatever. Has a little thing on the side that says push here and pull tab to open. And that never works. You just have to mutilate the box.
Yeah, I know my mom herself has so many problems with those boxes. Yeah, it seems like my aunt here doesn't have just problems opening the box, but cooking the food in the box.
My husband just brought a pot of grits in here that I made earlier, holding it by the spoon in the pot, and the grits are staying put, holding onto the spoon in midair. And he said, "Why don't you just learn how to make cement out of grits there, Ari?" And it is. I don't know. It might take a chisel to cut that. So not only can I not open the box, heck, I can't cook the contents either.
Well, I can open the boxes pretty well, but I have to say there was one time I put too many eggs in my brownies, and we were able to roll them up and bounce them off the floor.
Sounds like some cakes I've made. Oh, I made sugar glass candy one time. I don't know if you know what that is. If you don't, it is where you mix some Karo syrup and some sugar and some water and put in some flavoring, maybe some food coloring. You boil it. It boils down. It becomes this thick, kind of gooey stuff, and then you pour it in a pan and you let it dry into a flat piece of sugar candy, and it looks like glass, or it's supposed to. It's called sugar glass candy. Okay, here's what happened the first time I tried to make this. The temperature quit moving up. You've got to get it to like 310. Okay, so the temperature stops moving up at like 260. And then all of a sudden it just suddenly starts shooting up. I mean, you just watch the thermometer move. I turned around to make sure I had everything ready because I knew I was going to have to get this thing off the stove in like 10 seconds. I turn around, and it has gone from clear to absolutely jet black in that pot. I pour it out to see if maybe it's just the look. It might still taste decent. It hardens. It looks like something that would have dripped out of the oil pan of my car, which, by the way, I don't think I've had an oil change in the past 30,000 miles. Yeah. but it looked like burnt motor oil. And no, it did not taste good. I tried it, immediately spit it out, dealt with that for the next hour because it left a lingering taste. My daughter tries it and stands there going, "Blah, blah, blah." She's 5, by the way. But the second round did do good. The second round was much better. It tasted like cinnamon. Turned out orange instead of red. Not enough food coloring, but it did taste decent. So, mishap.
So talking about food, Ari, what's your favorite? Like, what do you like to eat the most?
I love Chinese takeout. I could live on that stuff. And I love fried chicken. What can I say? We're Southerners.
Well, me myself, I'm a person who loves to cook, and I can fix a lot of stuff. Like, you like Chinese takeout? Well, I can fix a lot of teriyaki and hibachi plates. But myself, I have to agree with you. Yes, I love fried chicken, but I like sushi. Sushi is my favorite food.
I can't tolerate sushi. To me, I can't do the whole raw fish thing. A really, really good friend of mine, when we went out to take her for her bachelorette party a couple of days before she got married, tricked me into trying sushi. We went to this really nice Chinese buffet style restaurant, and they had sushi out on the bar. And she got some. We go back to the table, we sit down, and she's like, "This is really good. Ari, try this. This is great. You'll love this." So I ate a piece, and I was, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I gagged. I'm sorry. Raw fish. And she said, "Well, try it with the sauce. It's better with the sauce." So I tried it with the sauce. And it was even worse. I had tears in my eyes. And I looked at her and I said, "How are you eating this?" And she said, "I can't stand it. I just wanted to see how you'd react." And I looked at her and I said, "You know what? If I didn't love you like a sister, I think I'd strangle you right now." But I got her back, though. We went to the Scottish Highland Games up in Boone. About, 50 miles from here. And I actually tried to trick her into trying haggis, which is sheep sausage. And she ran. She would not touch it. I should have saved some and just told her it was something else, and then when she tried it, be like, "That was haggis, haha, payback."
Well, with you liking Chinese food, what do you think about octopus?
No, never tried it, don't want to. I'm sorry, we're going from favorite food to grossest food, and to me that would be just kind of gross.
I myself have actually tried it. It's not bad. It's just really chewy. Just imagine flavorless bubble gum.
Oh, that sounds really nice. That sounds great. Flavorless bubble gum. Very appetizing. Yes, I'm done. You can take this conversation over now, Red. I'm done. Flavorless bubble gum.
So as you can tell, we're kind of missing some marbles. As we said in our ad, our bags aren't empty, they are just ripped wide open.
You forgot to mention those are marble bags. We haven't lost all our marbles. Just a huge hole in the bag. And yes, we're bringing the show to basically a dead halt because this is episode 1. And now we don't know what we're doing. So, in the midst of all of it, we're just muddling along trying to make this. That was appropriate. That was perfectly appropriate right there.
For sure.
Okay, so what else? What else? We've got Batman and Super, which I have to say, I like Batman better. And my daughter wants a Batman song. I'm not sure which one she's talking about. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, my 5-year-old daughter.
Well, for all you nerds out there that like science, sodium, Batman. For those of you that aren't scientific nerds, sodium's periodic thing is in A, so like, no, Batman.
The pug singing it on YouTube. Batman! They had the tune playing, and then you've got this little pug singing and going, Batman! You know what I found on YouTube? I found this thing about, they tried different drugs on spiders. And what?
And then the puppy does it.
And then the puppy does it. Okay, It was a goof. It was a joke. I don't think they actually gave the spiders anything, but it was a spoof commentary on what would happen with different spiders if they gave them different drugs. And they had one that was on crack and one that was on high amounts of caffeine, and one they had given something else to, and one just kind of, the one they had given like pot to, it just kind of lounged out in its web, and it just kind of took a nap. And the one that was on crack was like, I think they showed a time-lapse video of it making its web, so it made it really, really fast. And
It was like really fast.
yes, it was really fast. So, my 5-year-old daughter, everyone, yay!
So, with that brought up, with like weird effects on animals from drugs, well, this is more alcohol though. So we've all heard you're not supposed to let your dogs out when you got antifreeze out because it'll kill them. Well, apparently with scientific studies, if you get your dog completely hammered after drinking antifreeze, the proteins in it fuse and they won't die. So if you just ever have problem, go completely Russian on your dog and give it some vodka.
Now, having said that, we don't condone or endorse or support any kind of animal testing or giving anything to an animal that should not be given to an animal, and we certainly don't support the idea of getting your pets drunk. We both have pets. We love our pets, and we would not let them around anything like that. But hey, yeah, there have been several incidences, over the years. You hear about a dog getting into antifreeze when somebody had been working on a car. If there's a known antidote, then heck yeah. Save the animal's life. I'm all for that. Definitely. And we've killed the show again. I don't think there's an antidote for this.
I'm a potato.
You're a potato.
No, I'm a bottle cap.
He's a potato bottle cap.
He always says that.
And that's my 5-year-old.
You always say that.
You always say that. You're standing there crunching on a sucker. Stealing our podcast.
Good.
Okay. So, anyway.
I'm going to throw my sucker in the trash.
You do that. Okay, so what I was trying to say earlier, I like Batman better. I think it's, I don't know. I find some humor in the over drama of it, and characters like Joker and things like that. I think they're, I don't know. I just prefer Batman over Superman. I'm not much of a gamer. I'm not much of a comic book reader. Basically, I play online and make crafts.
Batman and Superman rhymes.
Batman and Superman both have the same ending there, honey. She doesn't care. Okay, well, I think it's safe to say that this episode...
My name's Emily Maccabee.
Oh, gosh. I think it's safe to say that this episode is fried and killed and done and about as awkward as it could get. So now that we got all the craziness out of the way, maybe from here on in, it'll be better, and we'll make a better podcast out of it. Yeah, Red, get your hand off the... Give me back the mouse from my computer. Okay, we will see you next week. We're signing off before this gets any worse, because it couldn't get much worse. And we'll see you next week on the Dork Cast.
Oh, and my name's Emily. I'm eating a sucker!
My daughter Emily eating a sucker. Okay. See you next week on the Dork Cast, everybody. Bye. got the wrong music.